Hello and welcome back to the French race weekend. We're doing a sprint race. Anyone who saw the last video, which I've literally just finished recording, I've not done anything in between. Le Castellet. Ooh, very fancy. I think I've qualified for 9th. Yeah, 9th, look. I was going to point to my screen, but that doesn't help you. So, race strategy, what does it recommend? Okay, that'll be fine, because then we'll be going on to the hard tyres, which we'll start on. Okay, I think we're good. Let's do this. We just want to get as many places as possible early. Specifically, we need to stay ahead of Lawson. He's the one person on this track we need to beat, and the more we beat, and the more that are between us, the better. Oh, fuck off! Did I hit Porsche? I probably did, to be fair, but come on. It's such a tight part of the race. Everyone's hitting everyone, right? There's bumps. You expect bumps in the first section. We'll watch it back, if I remember. I should think there'll be much more troubling things we need to worry about between now and then. It's not like I'm damaged. I mean, I am damaged, but not... The car's fine. It's me that's damaged. Oh, shit. I stopped paying attention for a moment. Okay, so he was catching us on the straight without DRS, which means that is going to be a problem throughout the race. But if we can make up the difference during the corner sections, which we've got better cornering and handling for, then we'll be alright. If I can take a tighter line and come out as fast. Not sure. Yeah, like we've made up some time here, I think. I turned in my chair again. I keep doing that. Our handling means that we can be faster in and out of these corners. It is the straights where we get screwed over. But that's fine. Once DRS is a thing, it won't be as big a deal because we'll be using DRS to keep up with everyone. And of course, it's important to remember that when we were doing the first corner, we were on the outside of that first corner, and we're still up 5 places. So we don't have to win this; we just have to outdo Lawson. And with with my apparent skill at the start of races, when we've got a standing start, maybe we'll be in a position to get Lawson on the opening lap. Yeah, Sargent is putting away. So the top speed situation is going to be a problem. But I've got better handling. It's as simple as that. So yeah, it's going to be which one is actually more important in this race? Is it the corners or is it the straights? And again, with DRS, I'll be able to keep up with it. Okay, fine. Sargent will also have DRS. He'll be dragging me along behind him to catch up with Williams. He'll be dragging Sargent along to catch up with Vesti. Yeah, I'm not worried. Not just yet. We've got a couple of spaces between us and Lawson, who no doubt will have to stop as well. And that is the key. Beat Lawson. By a margin. A notable margin. If we can do that, I'm a happy chappy. DRS should be enabled.
Okay, be aware the car behind is catching you by 0.5 a lap. 0.5.
I'm not sure that's entirely an accurate stat, actually, Mark. So why don't you pipe down, love? So we're close enough. That was fastest sector 1, but sector 1 has got a lot of corners. Sector 2 is quite a long straight, and he's pulling away. So they're fast to sector 2, I'm fast to sector 1, is what we're learning from this. Where does sector 2 finish, I wonder? It's probably after this long straight, isn't it? Yeah, it's here. It's coming up here. Okay, fast. No, I'm still fast to sector 2 as well. I slowed down a bit too much there. That was a mistake. I was worried about crashing into the back of him and ruining what is so far been going quite well. So far, we have got the fastest sector 1 and 2 of this lap. On this lap, I should say. Unless there's someone behind who's doing particularly well and moving up the field, which I doubt. And we should be in a position. I think I was behind him when the DRS. Yes, I've got DRS. I mean, look at that. That's a good lap. Oh, that's an even nicer move. So I wasn't overly sure that the move I pulled on Sargent was that clean. But the one on Williams, that was nice. That was a good move, if I may say so myself. Which I shall. So now we sit behind Vesti. We don't have to overtake him. We just have to sit behind him, manage our tyres a bit, manage our fuel a bit. We've got an even bigger gap between us and Lawson.
That's Vesti just ahead. Push hard.
Nope.
The gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs.
Ah, you see, I can't compete to Williams there.
We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 50.4. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap.
It's tough, isn't it? Because I am getting them on the corners, but they are getting me on the straights. So, oh, it's gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna have to pay a lot of attention to this one. So I apologise now for whatever poor quality commentary you get for the rest of this race. You can see though, I made a sensible judgment call when it came to the car setup. Actually, when you boil it down, I did make a very sensible call. I gained a few places thanks to cornering in the early stages. All our tyre conditions are going to be roughly the same, apart from mine, which are going to be fucked because that's how I drive. I suppose I can't really justify trying to take that position, can I? Oh, fuck. See, I did pull quite away from Williams as well. That's the thing. If I can break DRS, I can take advantage of. I don't know what I can take advantage of, but if I can break DRS, I can hopefully stay ahead of them on the straights, because DRS is going to fuck me. DRS is going to bend me over a barrel and not even take me out for dinner first. Got something on my glasses as well, which is really off-putting, because I can just see it. It's like a speck of dust or something. But I mean, I don't know how many of you wear glasses, but I find it very off-putting when something is on them and I can see it. It's a distraction. I need to wipe them, but I don't want to pause a flipping race just to wipe my glasses. Okay, so we're losing ground to Williams, but we're gaining it to Vesti. About the same pace on the straight. And we're pulling away a bit at the moment, but sector 2 is always a bit awkward because there's that long straight and then there's this bit which is, okay, technically it's sector 3 now, but you know what I mean. Sector 3 is fucking long and windy. A long and windy road, if you will. What is that? What is the long and winding road? Is that an album? I feel like it's a Bob Dylan album. I'm going to have to Google it after. Maybe I'll pause it during the pit stop so I can sort my glasses out. And I'll have a look then. The temptation to try and overtake is so high. But if I do, I'm actually making a rod for my own back.
Gap to your teammate behind
Sod it. Rod me, baby. That's wrong. That's so. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Let's just pull away. Sail away. There we go. Okay. It is a very long sector 3. We're talking about 2/3, if not more, of the track. Well, about 50 of the 1 minute 50 seconds is spent in this sector 3. That's a bit wide there for my driving style. So that's quite a long part of the actual track itself, isn't it? But again, it's windy. There's a lot of back and forth and slower corners, and like this one. This is quite a slow corner actually, compared to some of the corners that you get in Formula 1, and that's quite tight and slow. I've kind of fucked myself a little bit there, which is a shame because I was almost a second ahead of Vesti as well, and now I'm only half a second. Push my glasses up my nose, whilst them. I suppose it all depends on how. I'm worried about the undercut. I shouldn't be, but that is my main concern. I do want me on the hard tyres, which is fine. I can do hard tyres. I'm happy to go on hards. Especially if it means I get to use those next race. But I'm not so sure I do, actually, after what happened last time. I'll have to put some softs on, won't I, for my qualifying. If I do that, oh sorry, please forgive me. If I have to do that, then I'll have to pit early as well. I think it's like a 30 lap one, so we'll be pitting on like lap 10, like we are here. Well, I say 10, it's like 11 to, what is it, 11 to 15? 11 to 9, oh that's a bloody massive window. It's only a 2 lap window last time. There's quite a considerable amount of distance, or at least time, between lap 11 and lap 19. No, distance as well, because it's a long, physically long track, Jordan. Get it in your head. In Austria, it was quite a short track, hence for short time. But here, there's a very long period of distance between lap 19 and lap 11 and lap 19. Like, you can do a lot of wear on your tyres in that time. Whereas before, in Austria, well, you're not going to be doing all that much wear over the course of 2 laps, compared to here, over 8, 9. You know? It seems silly to me. The whole thing seems so silly to me. Case in point actually, no, not case in point, extra thing to note, if we have the fastest lap still, indicated by the purple colouring around her name, at the point that we are all swapping over onto new tyres, as long as no one else is swapping into softs, then we might, or we should, keep the fastest lap, because we'll be, I mean, you can't get a fastest lap on hards if you've already had fastest laps on softs. I don't care what anyone says, it's not going to happen unless there's been some major incident, right? Something like you've been on softs for, softs for virtual safety car only or something, you know. It's the only time as far as I'm concerned when you would be able to justify getting a fastest lap on a hard tyre. So if we can keep it until we all transfer over, we'll be laughing. That's extra points that we can take home to the bank. And the more points we get now, the less we have to get in the race, unless we have to get in the race, the more likely it is that this race, well, it's not going to go better, but the easier it's going to be for us to catch up with Lawson. Is the crux of what I'm trying to say. Who I think is in like 9th place at the moment. We've broken DRS, so we are outperforming Vesti.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
I should say, anything you guys want to know about the race and like racing mechanics and that you don't know, feel free to ask in the comment section below. Anything you want to know for future videos, maybe not, you might not get an answer in this series because I'm doing a lot of it in advance. Like, I'm recording this on the 3rd of February so just because there's so much I need to get done between now and the start of the season, I'm cranking it out as best I can, as best and as quick as I can. So you might have to wait until later on before you get answers, but you will get answers. I'll put like a thing together, a list, that's it, that's what they call them, isn't it, when you write stuff down. Oh no, not Pourchaire. Pourchaire was in between. Oh, you don't suppose he took damage when we hit him, do you? Allegedly him. I don't recall doing it, and if I did, it was only a nudge. It was a racing incident, not a give me a warning over it sort of incident. It's not like I pulled a gat out and started shooting, is it? It wasn't a fucking drive-by. Although now I feel like I should have Young Turks playing. That's a big GTA song lately, isn't it? The one that everyone likes. It's the one I keep seeing on TikTok. Yes, I'm on there. No, you don't want to follow me. Sleepy, sleepy. It is very mesmerising, the sound. I'm gonna level with you. I do like the sound, but it does help me doze off a little bit. Oh, a little bit of a cough there. It's because I'm thirsty, but the trouble is I can't take my hands off the wheel, the proverbial wheel, and have a drink. Even on these straights, I need to keep my hands on it because that's where the accelerator is. I'd love to drive around a racetrack. I kind of want to do go-karting. Go-karting would be absolutely lovely. That's a big thing I'd like to do at the moment. Get a few friends, get in some go-karts and have a good old race. I won't even be upset if I don't win. Well, I might be disappointed, but I won't be upset. Because as a chubby guy, that's a lot of weight to be putting around on a cart. But I'm working on it. At this point, I've not done my exercise today yet. I've got plenty of time. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But I need to work out when I'm going to fit it in. I kind of want to get the race done, like the next race done, before I stop again. Because that'll be today. That'll mean that I've done a race, a practice, and quali, a sprint, and another race.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip any time now.
Which is like, that's a productive day of recording, isn't it?
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.8 seconds.
Oh shit, if we pit now, we'll be in 17th. 17th? It's not too shabby, is it? 17th with 10 laps to go. I think we do it, you know. I think we do it, because I should think most of these other people are pitting. As if I called them people. I should think I think everyone else will be pitting as well.
Vesti's behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 1.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. And the
Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm not worried about this race anymore. Whilst we were in the first few laps and we were seeing how the back and forth was in terms of me on the corners going forwards, me falling back on the straights, whilst we were seeing that happen in real time, it was concerning to me. But actually, now that we're in a position where I can see how it's going, and I'm actually doing okay, I'm not too concerned. Right, I'm going to quickly Google the long and winding road. Oh, hang on. Pay attention to this. The long and winding road. Oh, it was a Beatles one. I knew it was an album. I just couldn't for the life of me work out who it was. Please tell me that person in front standing in. Yes, nice. Okay, so Vesti and Sargent, who were with me. Oh, this is going to be tight on this. I don't know if you remember that. I struggled a bit taking this corner in the wet. There we go. Okay, so we've ended up in 7th despite the pit stop. That's fine. That means that 10 other people pitted compared to expectation. This lap's not going to be overly impressive, but they are fresh tyres. We've got a good gap between us and Iwasa, even, who will be pit stopping. But we've got a good gap between us and Vesti, who was 2nd. So we've actually gained some time now. I should think he had to wait for someone to get out of the way so he could get released from the pit. Everyone in front of us, I would expect, is going to be pit stopping.
Just ahead, push hard. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 8.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was 1 minute 51.3.
I'm not worried about this. This is all I need to be concerned about is not flying off the track anywhere, and if I do, not into a wall. I think I made the absolute best judgment call I could have done in terms of the car handling. Yes, it's going to make it a little bit difficult in some of the sections where I'm going to be closed up with what am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say. I need to be wary of the straights, but that's fine. I'm not in any way concerned about this. Someone else pitted. How? Lawson hasn't pitted yet. Interesting, but he's 18 seconds. He's definitely getting in behind me. Wait for a straight and then we'll ask about the.
Lawson ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 18.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 12 laps old.
Okay, this is going well. This is going well.
Last lap was a 1:51.0.
Yeah. So actually, the only one who's a real threat to us at the moment is Sato and Williams. Williams shouldn't be that big a deal because, as we've demonstrated before, we can maintain a distance ahead of someone even if they are catching up on the straights because we're doing one on the corners. Happy days. Sato, depending on when he pulls out of the pit stop, I don't know how much time you lose. I wasn't paying that much attention because I was looking at the album. I can't believe I thought it was a... yeah, I can't believe I thought it was a Bob Dylan when it's a Beatles. I feel like an idiot. I knew it was an album, I just couldn't for the life of me remember who. I feel like we're going to be ahead of these, and we're going to be quite a bit ahead of them. But we'll have to see. I don't think they'll have undercut us, or overcut us, I should say. One of them is moving again, which is actually quite concerning. Oh God, they're not gonna get ahead of us, are they? No, 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 no. Because that's a pit exit. Ah, brilliant. Oh, okay. Sato's gone on to softs again. So that's going to be an interesting. Okay, okay. That could be a problem for me. I could end up in second because of that. Because he's on better tyres. Presumably fresh tyres. Which mean that he'll be taking this much faster than I will. But then again, I'm not sure what our last time was.
And Sato's behind you, and the gap behind us is 3.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs.
Oh, old softs, that's not a problem. Oh, unless they're only like 1 lap old or something, but the point is, yeah, he's lost it to Williams. He's not a threat. Not to me. Okay, good. Settle in. Oh, more of the same. That wasn't me fancying, that was me chair. I still need to get a replacement. One day. Maybe when I'm less fat I'll get a replacement so I don't have to yet again get another one shortly after. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Scream if you want to go faster. I don't know. It's so hard to work out what you're going to say for one of these things because it's got to be reactionary and it's got to be interesting. And sadly, I can't do either of those things and concentrate on the driving. I could do reactionary, but I can't necessarily do interesting. So I'm ad-libbing all of this. Everything that you hear me say that isn't part of the things about the teams so far has been ad-libbed. I've made it up as I've gone along. You know, I've found a topic somewhere in my brain to talk about whilst I've been doing this. How am I opening up a gap between Williams and me and Williams? That shouldn't be happening, surely. That shouldn't be happening. I'm not that good, am I? Maybe against Sam I am. Maybe the cornering, maybe the balance change I went with was more powerful than I expected. Maybe it was a really good decision. Maybe it turns out that actually I know what I'm talking about. But that's a very scary thought. The idea that I might know what I'm doing. I've not known what I'm doing at any point ever in the entire of my nearly 30 years on this planet. 30 conscious years, I should say. Because, you know, I have been an entity for longer than 30 years now. What with the whole in the womb thing. But, you know what I mean. As a universally accepted tangible human being on this planet over the last nearly 30 years, I've never really known what I'm doing. Or at least never really believed that I've known what I'm doing. So if it turns out that here, now, I know what I'm doing, that scares the fuck out of me.
Gap to your teammate behind is 10.5 seconds.
Oh, you was doing alright then. If we pit stop now, we'll end up in 15th. Which means we technically gained 2 places. I mean, we haven't, because we were already in first, right? But when we pit stopped before, it was telling us it would have been 17th if no one else had pit stopped. So the fact that it's now 15th means we've effectively gained 2 places. Which is nice. That's what we like. The more spaces we gain, the better. We're not looking after these tyres, but we've got plenty of fuel. And I have the drive and determination to win this. I think Vesti was screwed over by people going into the pits. That's unfortunate for him. Good for me, though. And I will absolutely take advantage of it. Not, of course, that Vest is a concern anyway. It's all about Lawson, who is going to be more of a problem next lap when he hasn't got to overtake a load of people to be in first. I've got to overtake him to get into first. Whereas this time he had to overtake me and everyone else that was between us. I do so well on the starts, it's actually quite crazy. Especially considering how nervous I am about jumping the start by accident. So, you know. 17, 18, 19, 20. 5 laps to go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm zoned in. We got this. This is our race. This is our race. Duhan is out, okay. Well, I wonder where he ended up leaving the race. Because there'll be a yellow flag there. He better not be somewhere dangerous, because if he is, there's always a risk that I'll end up crashing into him. Which would not be nice for me or for him, if he's still in the car. Trouble is, with all the corners that we've got, it could very easily be in quite an awkward location. Well, I'd like to think. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine, I can see him on the map. If it was bad, I suppose they'd put out the safety car, wouldn't they? Which wouldn't be ideal for me, but it wouldn't be the end of the world either. We won't want no, what was it, Michael Massey? We don't want any Michael Massey moments, do we? When we finish under the safety car. Or rather, we change the rules so that we don't finish under the safety car. That was fucking stupid. That was so fucking stupid. What a ridiculous fucking thing to have done. For those that aren't familiar, generally, under safety car rules, you have one of two options when performing a restart. Either you let any lapped cars unlap themselves, or you don't let any lapped cars unlap themselves. Over the course of, it was the final race in the 2021 season, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen were top of the championship, and this race was going to be the decider. There was a safety car towards the end, like we're talking last few laps. They had a safety car, and Lewis was in the lead, and there were 4 lapped drivers between them, or 4 or 5 lapped drivers behind him, and then Max Verstappen. And typically speaking, what would happen is either every single lap driver should be allowed to unlap themselves, which would take time, or none of them, which means that Max would have to work his way up the field. Well, not necessarily up the field, but Mark, I'm talking. He'd have to work his way through the back markers, the ones that had been lapped, in order to catch up with Lewis, which would slow him down. What ended up happening is neither of these two very reasonable options, and instead the people that were in between were allowed to unlap themselves, which was fairly quick, and also meant that it was a matter of Lewis being first, Max being right behind him in his rightful place of second, and the winner of a race being the one who would win the championship. Trouble is, Max was on fresh tyres, or fresher tyres, I don't know how much fresher, I can't remember off the top of my head. He was on fresher tyres. Lewis had tactically decided not to pit so that he could keep his position, keep the first place position, on the assumption that the rules were going to be followed. But instead, Michael Massey, or whatever his first name is, I know it's Massey, I can't remember his first name, decided that it was going to change the rules for this one particular occasion because it's a race and it's meant to be entertaining. But actually, it broke the rules. It decided the outcome of the race, decided the outcome of the championship, because realistically, the only way that Verstappen was going to win that was the way that he did. And I understand there's a desire not to finish the race under safety car conditions, but if that's the case, that's the case. Sometimes races don't finish the way you want them to finish. And it's not a matter of... You could say the same about the people who are upset about the fact that Hamilton didn't win. I don't care who wins, I care that the rules are followed, right? It would have been interesting to see Hamilton win, because that would have made him an 8th time world champion. But at the same time, it was Verstappen's first. And he's quite rightly won second and third. He's second and third since then. So there's a good argument for either of them having won it on a moral basis, and on a record setting, and it matters. It doesn't matter which one of them would win it. Overall, there would be some sort of history there. But the fact that the rules weren't followed is something that has upset a lot of people in the sport, and it's upset me a bit, to be honest with you. It shouldn't have happened. It's probably one of the most controversial ends to a season that we've had in a long time. And to be fair, I remember the first time Hamilton did win back in 2008. Timur Glock, who was in 5th or something, let Hamilton past, and Hamilton won the championship because of it. Last lap, last race, and it's just a silly little thing, and I don't know what the deal was there, but he let Hamilton pass, didn't it? Well, at least it looked like he'd let Hamilton pass. I don't know if there was some sort of technical fault, I don't remember now, but I remember watching it at the time, way back then. Bloody hell, that's a long time ago. And it looked like it was a deliberate, hey, I'm just going to let you overtake me now, sort of thing. And of course Hamilton took the opportunity, because you do, especially if it's a choice between that or not winning. Because that was the thing, that was the difference. If he hadn't overtaken Timo Glock, he would not have finished top of a championship. So it's one of those deciding things that one could argue rules were broken. And I don't know what the fuck happened there. I don't know whether it was a technical fault, whether Glock thought the race had finished a lap early. I don't know what's going on. But it decided the outcome. And again, it's controversial, I would say. There's reason for controversy there. But that was the first time Hamilton won it. The most recent time he could have won it, realistically, there was a controversy that absolutely was because of someone else's decision again. It's interesting. His very first championship, he was only a couple of points behind. Behind winning it. Oh no, Lawson's on softs. Oh shit. Okay, fine, doesn't matter. So, he's clearly a skilled driver, and he's continued to be so for a long time. Is he past it? No, I don't think he's entirely past it, but I don't necessarily think he's got that much more opportunity to win now. He's like Alonso. He's got the experience, which puts him in reasonable stead, but it's just not enough to get him to the top anymore. That's my analysis of it. I would love to see them both win more, especially more so Alonso, because he's that much older, right? Alonso's been at this for a long time now, a long time. So longer than some of the other drivers have been alive, right? So think about that for a moment, and in fact think about that until the next race, when because we just won this one. Oh, lovely.
Fantastic drive, that's just fantastic. Amazing, you deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
told you this second half of the season would be a return to form, and it absolutely was. Or it has been so far.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced.
We were 47 behind, weren't we? So now 42.
And now a look at the team standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Okay, so all in all, we're doing quite well. Now I'm going to take a short break before I move on to the 30-lap feature race. But fingers crossed, the feature race should be much of the same. So we will, hopefully you'll join me for that, and I will see you there. Goodbye.